Hope all of you are safe and healthy. So I am back again, and in this video we are going to discuss basically these 3 points, like what is AWS Lambda execution role and why we need that. Secondly, we will see like how to set up S3 bucket trigger on AWS Lambda. Okay, and the third one we will see how to set up a periodic job or the cron job on AWS Lambda. Okay, so let me first explain like a Lambda execution role. See, Lambda, while we create any Lambda function in the previous sessions also, like we have seen, like when creating a Lambda function on the Lambda console, we have to create or select an existing Lambda execution role. You can create a new Lambda execution role, or if you already have created, you can select that. Okay, so let me go on the console, and that we could understand well, like to see. Okay, so I'm here on AWS console, and when we are going to create a new function, okay, and we'll give a function name here. We will select the runtime. Okay, in the permission section here at this place, see, choose a role that defines the permission of your function. To create a new custom role, go to the IAM console. So we can create a custom role from the IAM console also from AWS. Or here, there are 3 options here that we can choose. Create a new role with the Lambda execution permission, or use an existing role. Okay, if I'll select use an existing role, if I might have created any existing role, okay, I can select that. Okay, and if I have not created any existing role, we can opt to create new one. So once we select this radio button, like create a new role with Lambda execution role, what Lambda does, like when we will move ahead on clicking create function, okay, it will automatically create a Lambda execution role and assign it to this Lambda function. Okay, so what that execution role does, like in the previous session we have created this Lambda execution role. Okay, it's a role. Okay, and it has the default permissions. Okay, what AWS does, it automatically assigns the default basic execution permission to AWS Lambda, so that it can run on AWS environment and it has the required access. Okay, so AWS Lambda function will have the required necessary access to run itself in the AWS environment. Okay, so that is the purpose of this Lambda execution rule. Further, we will see, like if we will go through developing more and more advanced Lambda functions. Okay, and like we in coming session we will see, like when we develop a function, AWS Lambda function, that will need access to S3 bucket. Okay, or that will need access to AWS CloudWatch, or that will need access to any other AWS service. Okay, so permission to those service, those AWS service, what is required to for AWS Lambda need basis. So all those permissions can be assigned via execution role to the Lambda function. Okay, so that is the purpose of creating a Lambda execution role. Okay, so in nutshell, we can say the Lambda execution role is a way to give required services permissions, okay, to Lambda function. That is required as and when, as per the requirement. Okay, so that is the basic and simple example definition of Lambda execution role. Okay, so in moving ahead, when we will move ahead with a different kind of Lambda practicals, we will see like assigning different kind of services permission to Lambda function with the help of Lambda execution role. Okay, so that is the that's the point, okay, about Lambda execution role. So we will see that also in detail in coming topic. So that was it about the Lambda execution role. Second, we are going to see a demonstration. Like we will set up we will create a bucket. Okay, S3 bucket. So S3 bucket is a storage service, object storage service from AWS. where you can store the objects like files, any kind of files, or the or objects you can store there on S3. Okay, so that is a different storage service, completely different storage service that will say discuss in detail separately in other videos. But for now, just understand like S3 is a bucketing storage service, object storage service that we are going to use with the Lambda function. So we will create a S3 bucket, okay, and we'll see, we'll develop a Lambda function that will be connected with the S3 bucket. And whenever we will upload any file or any object in that bucket itself, okay, the connected or associated Lambda function will automatically be triggered, okay, and will fetch the required will fetch the metadata or the information about that uploaded file or object, okay, and that we will log into the AWS CloudWatch, okay. So that we will see like the function will be triggered, okay, on the event of any file or any object being uploaded on the S3 bucket, okay. So that is the demonstration we are going to see. Okay, so let us jump into the Visual Studio. So in the Visual Studio, I am going to start a new project. Okay, AWS Lambda project, .NET Core. Next, I'll name it AWS Lambda S3 trigger. Okay, create. See, from this screen, there will be a blueprint called simple S3 function. Okay, we can select this blueprint here, a template, a project for responding to S3 event notification, like any event, like if there is the object is deleted, okay, object is uploaded, object is renamed, okay. So any kind of event that happens on S3 bucket, okay, the associated S3 bucket, I'll say, not all the buckets, okay. So that on that event, this Lambda function will respond. Okay, so let me choose this template itself. Okay, so it has created a function here. So let me explain the code block. So it is the function. Okay, and here these are the namespaces. Sorry, these are the usings. So like Amazon Core S3 event, Lambda S3 event. It has called Amazon S3. Okay, and see, for AWS, if we want to consume any kind of web service, any service from AWS, there's a specific client. Okay, so this time we are using S3 bucket. So we have Amazon S3 client. We have created an object of Amazon S3 client. Okay, and on the constructor part, we are just initiating that the S3 client object. Okay, and so and this function handler itself, it is when there is any event happened on the S3 bucket, okay, it will get an event input to this function, okay, and what this block of code is doing, it is iterating through all the events, okay, will get the information about that particular event, okay, and there's a method like S3 client get object metadata sync, okay. So with this event, whatever object or the file is associated, okay, it will fetch the metadata of that particular object, okay, and from that metadata information, we are fetching the content type, like whether it is the image file or the JSON file or the JPG file, whatever is the content type that we are fetching and logging itself, okay. So by default, when we create any Lambda function, okay, and we give it basic Lambda execution role access, okay, the Lambda function automatically have the basic access to CloudWatch, okay, to log the events, okay. So this line basically context.logger, the log information, is logging this this string like content type into the CloudWatch. Okay, that we will see there. Okay, so this is the function. Okay, so we will deploy this function. Okay, and see one thing, we have not specified here any bucket name. Okay, you can see like uh, any specific bucket name we have not specified here. So currently it is responding to an it will how it will, this function will know like which bucket is associated with this function. Okay, so for that purpose we need to create a bucket, S3 bucket on Amazon console, and we need to connect that bucket to this Lambda function. Okay, so what I'll do, let me first deploy this function to AWS Lambda. So I'll publish this, simple, and yeah, the region will be Asia Pacific Mumbai. Okay, the function name is fn-s3 bucket trigger. Okay, that is my function name, and my profile is selected here, the AWS profile. We can give a description here. Okay, function that respond to S3 event. Okay, next. Okay, so role name, I'll select this AWS Lambda execution role that I had created in the previous session. Okay, and just move ahead. Okay, upload. So there's something wrong. Let me check. Function S3 bucket trigger at function name field to satisfy constraint member must satisfy regular expression pattern. Okay, so this error, I think I did something wrong. Let me go back. Let me give a simple name because I think some non-allowed characters like S3 I have used here. Okay, so let me move next. I'll again select the role, execution role. Okay, and upload. I hope this time it gets success. Okay, so it's function created. Okay, so it's done, I think. Let me close this, move back on console. Okay, so here let me refresh this. Yes, we have a function here, fn bucket trigger. Okay, so let me go here within the function. Okay, I think I have just given the wrong spelling here. It should be bucket bucket. Yeah, doesn't mind. Okay, so this function is here. Now what I'll do, I have to connect this function to a S3 bucket. Okay, so let me open a new tab here. Okay, and I'll go to S3 service. Okay, so I have a bucket, already created a bucket here, like this Krishna bucket 1981. Okay, we can create a new bucket. Let me create a new bucket for you. So S3, I have given a name. This bucket name should also be unique. Okay, so S3 bucket 2024 I have given here. Okay, and all these things will be as it is. Just skip for now. Create bucket. I think there is bucket name, bucket with the same name already exists. S3 bucket. Okay, 25. Let me make it something unique. What happened? Bucket name contains invalid characters. Okay, no problem. 2025. Okay, so bucket naming rules are there, so we have to match the rule. Like we have to use the specified allowed and the specified characters also there. Okay, so let me just move ahead. Okay, so this bucket is being created. Yes, so my bucket is there. Okay, and I'll go back on the Lambda console or the function that we have created previously. What I have to do, I have to set up a trigger here. Okay, I'll set up a trigger. Okay, and from the trigger, I'll choose S3. Okay, and we'll select the bucket name on which bucket this function should respond. Event type, you can choose any specific event, like when a file is uploaded, post, copy. Okay, all objects deleted event, permanently deleted event. So all the various events are there. For now, I'll select this all object event, like any event happens on this bucket, that should be reported to Lambda. Okay, and there is also some more options like enter a single quote optional prefix that limit notification to objects with keys that start with matching characters. So you can specify this kind of particular, if there we have a specified directory. Okay, so you want the Lambda function to respond only if there is changes on particular directory files, that you can specify here. Some specific suffix also, like you want the function to respond on upload of any JPG files only, or the PNG files only, or any JSON or the text files only. Okay, so those constraints you can apply here. Okay, so these are the optional. I'll just skip that for now. So let me acknowledge that, and I'll click add. Okay, so the trigger has been set. S3 bucket trigger has been set on this Lambda function. Okay, so now my function is connected with this particular S3 bucket. Okay, so I'll see here in the monitor section, you can monitor this function exactly, like what executions are going on. You can view on the CloudWatch console also, like if there is something happening, if there is any execution happened on this for this function. Okay, so fn bucket trigger doesn't exist in this account or region. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me upload a file here. Okay, I'll see add files, and I'll upload an image here, just one. Okay, and we'll upload. Okay, so this object or the image is uploaded on this bucket. Okay, and we will go back and we'll see in the Lambda monitor tab itself. Okay, yes, so function bucket trigger, there's a log automatically been created. Okay, log string, and if you will click here, you will see like these are the logs. Okay, these logs have been triggered, and it has retrieved the content type of that particular object, like this is image or JPEG file. Okay, so what we have seen here, like when I have uploaded a file here on this bucket, okay, and we have set the the trigger on this function, okay, that will act on the on upload event of or any event on S3. So due to that, when I uploaded this file on this bucket, this function execution happened, okay, and it has fetched the metadata from that uploaded bucket, uploaded file or object, and that is being logged here in this line. Okay, so that was the demonstration itself. Like the Lambda function is responding to the S3 event. Okay, so let me identify more itself from the function. You can log more information about the object, like content dot status dot. Okay, so all these properties like expires, UTCs, okay, count. So all these header properties are available here. Okay. So let me write a custom string here. Object has been uploaded to the bucket. Object name, we can say like it's the key name actually. Okay, so a little modification I have done to the code, and let me build this and redeploy this function again. Publish. Okay, function has been deployed, and what I'll do, I'll upload some another object on this bucket. Add file. Let me find something else. Okay, so I'm just uploading this document. Okay, what file? Okay, so this document is also uploaded here. Now if you will go back here in the trigger, you can see another log has been created here on the CloudWatch in the log stream itself, or you can go here directly from this Lambda function page on the monitor section, view CloudWatch logs. Okay, and you will jump here. Okay, and let's go inside the log and we'll see what's happening. See, there is some the log is happening, but there is some error also happened here, like getting object from this. Make sure they exist and your bucket is the same region as the function name. Okay, so I think some the naming of this file is something the culprit. Okay, so however, we have seen that this function is being triggered on the upload. Okay, and the metadata is being logged here. Okay, we are just trying to get the name of the file. Okay, so yeah, that was the demonstration, like connecting AWS Lambda function with S3 bucket. Okay, and our function is responding on the event of any S3 upload or bucket file upload on the bucket itself. Okay, yeah. So the next point we will see like setting some cron job on AWS Lambda. So okay, so that we will see here on the AWS console, Lambda console. When we are getting any function, okay, let me create a function here. Okay, I'll say you. I'll not develop this function in Visual Studio. You can develop the function in Visual Studio also. Uh, okay, let me create a new function here for that demonstration. Let me close all this. Add new project, Lambda, AWS own job. Okay, create. I think there will not be any blueprint here, so we just will for that, because that setting we will do on the console itself. So I'll for now I'll select a simple empty function. We'll click finish. Okay, so in this function what I'll do here, I'll write a simple log here, context dot logger. Log information. I'm being executed periodically. Okay, so I think as we discussed earlier also, this block you can write any kind of any script. That is the actual business logic of your code or the requirement. Okay, so for now I'm just writing a simple line here, like I'm being executed periodically. Okay, and there's no input. Okay, so let me input equal to input is equal to, let me, hello. Yes. I have just assigned a variable here. Okay, and I'll just publish this function to Lambda. I'll name this FN cron job. Okay, and next I'll select the role and deploy. Okay, so the function has been deployed, and we can see the function here on the AWS Lambda console. Let me refresh this. Okay, so FN cron job, this function appears here. Okay, and we can test this function. Some error, I suppose. Okay, because this is because I have not given any input here. Okay, so Okay, so I've given input and it is executing. Okay, so hello Chris, it is executing. Okay, and what we have to see, like so there is a different when we are working on the actual project. Okay, we will modify this logic, the business logic as per requirement, like whatever code we are going to execute periodically. Okay, that should be written here. But this function I have selected the basic blueprint or the empty function, so it is needed this input itself. Okay, so what I can do, I can just omit this input also if I want. Okay, I will need only the context here, and I'll just remove this and I'll return here done. Okay, let me rebuild this function. It is completed. Let me publish this. All the configuration will be as it is. I'll just click on upload. Okay, it has been uploaded. We can test this from here also, like hello function. Okay, if I want, I don't have to give any input here because I have removed the input. Okay, so it is saying the function has been executed. Okay, and what we have written done. Okay, so it is returning that. Okay, the function is also redeployed. We can go here on the cron job. Sorry, function name is the fn cron job, and click on test. The function has been executed. Okay, it is returning the string. Okay, but when I click on test, okay, it has written some log also, like I am being executed periodically. Okay, so this is the string, but it's we have not set up the cron job as of now. So now I will see how to schedule this function. Currently I am running this function manually, okay, by clicking on test button. But in order to schedule this function periodically, what we have to do, we have to add trigger. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just add trigger. Click on add trigger, and what you have to do, you have to select here event bridge. Okay, AWS CloudWatch event bridge. I will select this, and you can create a new rule here. Okay, and we can give a rule name here. Rule periodic run. Okay, this is the important one. Like here we can specify the frequency, like you want this function to run what frequency, on what frequency we want this function to be executed. Okay, so we can specify the cron syntax here. Okay, so cron syntax we can understand from this. You can develop the cron syntax here. Okay, with this reference. Okay, like we can specify we can develop the syntax like this. Okay, and or simply what we can do, we can specify here this way, like I want this function to execute it every 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. Okay, so this will also work, or the 30 minutes or 1 hour. Okay, so we can specify like this. So let me specify here 1 minute, just to see like whether it is actually working or not. Okay, I've given a 1 minute time only. Rate 1 minute and add it. Okay, so the trigger rule periodic run was successfully added to the function. The function is now receiving events from the trigger. Okay, so every 1 minute this function will keep on running, or this whatever block of code we might have been written here in this block, in this area, that will be executed every 1 minute. Okay, because of this CloudWatch event based trigger. Okay, so how we can monitor this, whether it is executing or not? We will go here on the monitor section. We'll see here in the CloudWatch logs. Okay, so this is executed. It is UTC time actually, 8:25. There's one execution, and it will keep on increasing. Okay, we need to wait for next 1 minute to see the next one or execution. So basically, the CloudWatch is the this event-based CloudWatch rule we can define in order to execute the function to set the periodic run feature, like on what frequency basis we need to execute this particular function. So that is the purpose of this cron job setting. Okay, so let me see. So these logs will keep on moving, like on every execution, like this one executed, this is executed, this is executed. Okay, and you will see the every 1 minute you will see the log will be increasing. So you can verify here, like if your function on the defined schedule or defined frequency your function is executing. So what is the use case basically? Like as I there is some let's assume there's a backend database, like there is some stream data is being inserted every seconds. Okay, and you want to check the data if there is any anomaly detection or any wrong data, or any records are there which is which value where value is above the threshold or above the required limit. Okay, so on those cases you can schedule the cron lambda function with a defined frequency, and frequently you can check the data, and you can raise the necessary alerts or the emails based on the required conditions of the scenario. Okay, so in those purpose we can use this cron job feature. Okay, so let me refresh this again. See, the logs are getting growing itself. Okay, and every 1 minute the function being executed. Okay, so it was executed at 8:1, 8:2, 8:3. Okay, okay, so that was the end of this session. So we came to know like about Lambda execution role. We have seen like how we can associate or trigger AWS Lambda function on event happened on the S3, and how to schedule AWS Lambda to be run on periodic basis with the help of AWS event CloudWatch event grid itself. Okay, so friends, I hope you will you like this video. Okay, uh, stay connected, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will connect again for further more interesting videos like this on AWS. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for now, and keep like and subscribe this video, so that furthermore any more videos I upload to this series, you will be automatically notified. Okay, thank you very much for now. Thanks.